But here's a few drills to get to improve your ankle and your hip mobility. Let's just start actually standing up like this, dropping the shoulders and rolling down, just so you can just ease out the posterior chain, the back of your legs. Hold on to your elbows, take a deep breath in, so you lift, and as you exhale, just drop everything. Relax your head so you can shake it, and then hands to the floor and lean your body weight forward so you start to lift your heels. So you lean forward, lift the heels, and then lift your toes. And try and open your toes up as much as you can. So imagine if you want to spread your toes like your hands and just rock forward and back. And then just bend one knee at a time. This might feel very stiff, especially if you do it in the morning. Move your hips from side to side. Okay, then take a seat as low as you can without your heels lifting up, and then come up straight. So again, keep the heels flat. I'll show you from the side actually. So heels flat. The lighting is not that great. Let me shuffle forward. Bend the knees as far as you can without the heels lifting, and then come up. Again, 2. Let's do 8. 3, 4, and notice if they go a little bit further each time. 5, 6, even if you can only go to here, that's fine. 7, last one, and 8. Coming down, bend your knees so your heels are up now. And I just want you to roll forward and back. See if you can tap the toes, tap the knees, and come back. 8 of these. 2. Feel the stretching in the back of your toes as well. 3. If you want, you can lean on something as well. 4. 5. 6. Hips as far back as they can go. 7. Last one. 8. Good. Now, sit on one leg, so you're sitting on your heel, and this foot is flat, and just circles all the way around, knee circles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take it round. And these you can do 3 before every workout, even if it's upper body day. You're getting the mobility in. The more you put in, the more you get out. So the more you do kind of drills like this, the better it will be for you. You don't even have to be working out. You could be in front of the TV watching it and just doing these drills. You don't have to always do, you can do the ones that I've given you. You can adapt it. You can move in the way that your body wants to move. You've got to trust your body more, because you won't do anything to your body that hurts anyway. If you're doing your own thing, you won't. If you find it hurts, you'll stop and do something else. Good. Okay, change back. And this time, same as before, you're going to go forward. So go as far forward as you can whilst keeping that heel down, and see where your range is at. Pay attention to what your body can do and how it feels. How does that feel? Where do you feel it? Remember, if there's pain, don't do it. You might have to change it up. Here, when you push it away, I can feel it in my hip as well. So not only am I mobilizing my ankle, my hip, and then when I twist away, I can feel it in my shoulder, I can feel it in my back. And that's why movement is medicine, and it can't just be one thing. You know, you can't just be doing all the same movement patterns and stretches. When you stretch, and when I stretch, I move like water. I don't know where I'm going to go. You know, you just allow your body to flow, and that is the key. Because you'll find, oh, when I do that, it feels good. Or, oh, when I do that, it doesn't feel too good. That's the only way you're going to get to know your body. You can't always just follow and be told what to do, because the only person who knows your body best is yourself. And not everything is for everybody. So an instructor might do certain stretches or warm-ups that might not work for you, and that's okay. So the more you know your body, the more you can flow with it, and the more you can adapt to where you need it to go if you're ever in a class or doing something else. So bringing the knee forward now to the floor, and just again explore. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Have a feel. As you see, I'm moving my hands around. So this is a nice stretch for your toes. because even under your toes get tight, and if under the feet get tight, then the ankle get tight, then the knee get tight, then the hip get tight, the head get tight. And then just move around. So just taking special attention to where you feel and what you feel. Stretching the toes, stretching the knee, stretching the ankle, and change. So you're going to do the same thing here. Coming forward, and maybe in different positions. So it might be straight forward, it might be to the side. Use your hands. And if there's too much pain in your knee, definitely use your hand to take some weight off. And again, if you can't do, if this is not for you, just stay here. Just stay here. You haven't got to do exactly what I'm doing. And feel the stretch in the toes, which is like, I find it like, if I'm there for a long time, but it just tells me that they're tight and need it more. Especially the toes. Think about how tight the toes will get. We practically live in shoes. Our feet are not designed to be in shoes that way. So that's why, if you can, bare feet as much as you possibly can is good for you as well. Right, so sitting on your heels like this, so your feet are flat, and just rock. Sometimes in my warm up I just do this. When do you ever have your feet in that position? So just wiggle side to side. And then obviously it's going to stretch over your knees, isn't it? And then hands behind, and then see if how you hear. How does that feel? Stretching your quads even more. And remember, you can even do this after a workout too. If you've got time, do it. Few lifts up and down like a glute bridge. 2, good, stretch over the knees and the quads. 3, 4, and squeeze your glutes. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Even here, with my fingers facing back, I'm getting a stretch. I'm getting some external rotation. I'm opening up the chest, getting a stretch in the shoulders. You might want to hang about here, getting the stretch in the wrists. Again, it's always about exploring your body. Roll the wrists if you've been on there a while. Roll the elbows. Now, tuck the toes here and then sit up straight. I used to do this a lot when I used to do yin yoga, and we'd have a bolster, so like a cushion underneath here, and we'd have to sit here for 4 minutes. Now, sitting here, if anyone wants to see me, they're like, oh, that's fine. But oh my gosh, if you're with me, you'll feel it in the back of the feet and the toes. Some people can't even do this, the tightness. So if that's too much, ease up and come again. But ideally, you want to sit here for a little while and just feel the stretch underneath your toes, the bottom of your feet, the balls of your feet. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. It's no joke. This is like killing me. But not in a way that it's, it's unsafe and it's breaking me, but I'll know when to stop. I can't stay here for too long. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. You can ease out your neck while you're here. Drop the shoulders. And it's a good challenge for you. Like if you're sitting in discomfort sometimes, it just challenges your discipline and your will. But don't sit in, know the difference between pain and discomfort. Okay, release, lean all the way forward. It might take a while, so wiggle your toes and then tap them on the floor. Tap, 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 and then sit back on them, open the feet and wiggle out. So how does that feel? Okay, just come here, drop it to the side, heel on top of my knee, look over the left shoulder. You get a nice stretch in the lower part of the back. You feel it a bit in the glute as well. And then change over to the other side. Watch the knee, if that feels too uncomfortable. This is my problem side and I can feel it in my knees, not as comfortable as I do on the other side. So again, paying special attention to your body, how it feels. The range might just be here. That's fine. Listen to your body. I'll say it all the time. Good. Back into that position. One hand back. We're going to reach all the way back. Push the hips forward and squeeze your bum. You feel a nice stretch in the hip here. Push, push, push. And this will be a good opener for your loaded beasts as well. So you can do this as you warm up. Bring it round, all the way around, make it a nice stretch for the back. Hand behind, lift and look over at the shoulder. Don't dunk into the shoulder, push all the way up. Extend the arm, hips forward. Imagine someone's pulling your hips forward with string, and to keep you there and strong, squeeze your bum as much as you can. Take it round, heels down, reach the arm as far as you can so you're feeling a nice stretch in the back. Slow with control, like you're circling, hand behind, slow and control, and lift back. And if you remember some of these stretches, what I do, a lot of movement meditation, so I'll play some music. It might be some like meditation music, and then I'll just like flow. I won't make any plan. There's no plan. It's just moving the body. And I tell you what, it's a form of meditation. It's beautiful. It's such a nice thing to do. And that's a big part of my self-care routine. So I do kind of definitely advise you to do that. Tuck the toes in, and then just rock back, and then come back onto your knees. Hips back, come back onto your knees. So your aim is to get the arms as straight as possible. Think straight, pull the belly button in, engage the core, and come back. So this is a really good drill now to practice your loaded beast. Let's do 8 more. 8, back on the knees. Come all the way forward. 7. In fact, we can even drop to the hips if you want a little back stretch. 6. Hips down, tuck the toes. 5. Open out the knees, that will help. Squeeze the bum. 4, see if you can go back further each and every time. Imagine I'm there pulling your hips back. 3, straighten the arms, open the fingers, reach the fingers. 2, last 1, and 1. Excellent. Coming onto the knees. So remember, we do the front step, take a big lunge forward, and then just try and open up the hip as much as possible. See if you can straighten that hand so it opens the hip. You can just roll it out, and you're rolling onto the side of the foot, pushing your hip down to the floor. This is definitely a good warm-up to do when you're doing your loaded beast, to spend a little bit more time here. And then you can take the back leg off, do a few rocks, and really open up the hip. But especially if you're tight, always start off small in the movement, and then gradually develop the stretch. Don't go from 0 to 100, make it small. It's just like with anything you do, take it back, feel the hamstring stretch. You've got to gradually warm up. It's like doing a workout. You don't just go straight into lifting something heavy or jumping around like a maniac. You have to slowly come into it. Even when we wake up in the morning, we don't just spring out of bed and go, "Wah!" and shout and scream. You gradually got to get used to, used to something, warm up to something. It's the same again. Go to your range and then just start to push out, circle the body. Always just flow, and just go with what feels best for you. I remember mobility and stretching is part of self-care. It's feeling good. It's like a massage. It should be like, you're releasing tension out of your body. Remember, we hold a lot of stress in our body. So you could be doing yourself some big favors by just moving and flowing. And it hasn't got to be on your structured training day. It could be anytime, anywhere. You don't have to be in fitness clothes. If you work from home, oh my gosh, you should be getting up every so often and just moving and flowing and just rolling on the floor. Like this rug just gets rolled on, like I'm rolling out pastry every day. Rolling out pastry, you know what I mean, like rolling out dough. I do chat some rubbish. Random. Okay, so into a child's pose, but open the knees as wide as you can. Reach the hands, real deep hip opener here. Hips back, reach the hands forward, chest to the floor if you can. And if you can, chins to the floor. You feel a great stretch in your shoulders and your lats, as well as open out the hips. If they're screaming at you, ease back. You can come to your elbows. You can bring your knees closer and hips back more. Come with me here now if you're not anyway. So hips all the way back. And really imagine your bum sitting on your heels. So really try and sink them back. Even if you, before you're going to bed, go onto your floor, hold a child's pose for as long as you can. And play with it. You can crawl your body forward again. So the hips go up and the chin goes to the floor. Again, getting a nice stretch in your shoulders, in your lats, in your chest. Have a play. Even with the child's pose, I'm always moving. You can turn one hand up, go to the side, feel the stretch in your back. Push yourself back so you can sit on the heels. And again, other side, push yourself back, sitting on the heels. Good. Excellent. Bringing that foot forward again, this time keeping it close. I'll come close to you. See how my knees are close? In. And just pushing forward. Use your hands as support. Keep that heel flat to the floor. Keep the heel flat. You can get that stretch in the Achilles heel. And even sometimes I put my foot down, and what's a great one to do, please incorporate it. If you have a weight or a kettlebell, place it above your knee. Put the weight on here. It won't hurt or anything. It's just adding a slight bit of pressure, and you're encouraging your heel to come down. Because in an ideal world, especially to get that perfect squat and lunge, anything, and especially loaded beast, you want to have that ability to stretch the back of the heel here. So, you know, instead of having to lift the heel, if you're doing squats and you feel your heel starts to lift, if you're doing certain things and your heel starts to lift, that's showing you the tightness in the back of your leg. So the aim here, always try, and every time I do my warm-up, even if on a leg day when I'm squatting, I'm trying to keep my heel planted down and drive the knee forward until it can't go anymore. Some people may only be able to go here. That's telling you a lot about your range. Okay, mobility is key to life. As we age, we are deteriorating. Our muscles deteriorate. Our joints are getting tighter. You have to mobilize. Like, it has to be such a big part of your life. And you know, it's like, it feels like it's never ending. Every day you're always tight. No matter how much you mobilize and stretch, you're always tight. You're always tight. It's always going to be that way. You know, and then you could be making so much progress, and then you don't stretch for a week, and then it's like you've taken a few steps back, and you're tighter again. That's just the way it is. That's why you've always constantly got to move. You know, it's never a thing that, oh, we're fixed, we're always going to be so mobile, we're going to be like elastic bands. It's not that. It's just it's a daily part of it. It has to be a daily part of our lives, because think about the wear and tear that our body gets each and every day. Not just physically, mentally as well. So that's why you've just got to move. You got to take care of you. You got to put in a lot of work. How does that feel? And it should feel a bit more looser than what we started. Okay, so let's go back to how we started. Come up onto your feet again. It doesn't matter if your heels are lifted. In an ideal world, which not even I can do, it'd be great to be able to sit here with the heels all the way down. Be able to sit this close with the heels all the way down. Actually, let's open up a little bit because we haven't done a wide squat. So, feet down. I look like a frog. Or a sumo wrestler. Feet nice and flat. And hips up. Shake out the bum, hips right to left, and you feel a nice stretch in the inner thighs. Sit down and come up. Sit down and come up. One last thing I want to do, actually, go over to the side, hips all the way back. Make sure this heel is down. Walk over. These are also good to get that ankle and that hip mobility. So just use your hands. I'm putting the weight in my hands, so the load is not in my knees or anything, and hips as far back. So as you see, my body is all the way forward. Hips as far back as possible. And as you keep going side to side, you might find you get a little bit deeper. If you've got the range, you might want to lift the toe into a Cossack. You might want to take yourself back. You might want to say, Faye, get lost. I ain't doing that. My body won't allow. That's fine. Go to where you can. And if you really was to put in a work, you can be here. It's just down to you how much work you put in. That's up to you. And things might take time. It might be, you might be able to do this in a year's time. But if you really had the patience and the consistency and the will to do something, you'll do it. It's not impossible. Even in that moment, if it does feel impossible, the body is an amazing thing. Open out the knee. And remember, explore. It hasn't got to look like mine. And go into everything nice and slow and controlled without forcing the body. And come up. Good. One more thing which I didn't do, sorry, I'm flowing. Sit back down your heels and then just an abductor stretch here. Try and flatten the foot, hips back, get the bum on the heel. This is another good stretch. And think about a child's pose but with one leg. Definitely see if you can incorporate that in your stretches. And maybe you try this every morning for a week and see how you feel. Maybe you do this in the morning and then do your workout in the evening. You can do things, you can do 2 movement activities twice in one day. It hasn't just got to be your workout time. Okay, now let's go back to where we started, up onto your feet. Hips up, feet underneath the hips and parallel, elbows. Deep breath in, exhale, let everything go. Good, hands on the floor, lean forward, as far forward as you can, far back as you can. Lift the toes, lift the toes, lift the toes high. You can feel stretching your calf. Go forward, as far forward, put the body weight on your hands, and then lift the toes, wiggle them, open them, bend one knee at a time, hips moving side to side. How does that feel? Think about how you felt at the start when we did this to how you feel now. Even that little bit of movement will help. See if you can grab the legs, get as close as possible. Deep breath in, exhale, let everything go. Now I want you to pull in your belly button, squeeze your bum, head is heavy, arms are heavy, no tension, let everything go and slowly start to roll up. And imagine your vertebrae stacking like bricks, one on top of each other. Pull in your belly button, squeeze your bum, relax your arms, relax your head, chin to the chest. Slowly, slowly unravel the spine. It feels so good. It should feel like a spine massage. Restack. Slowly, slowly, hips forward because we've been over quite a lot. Chest open, lean back, head back. Just release there, side to side. Good. There we go. Make sure you mobilise every single day. Have a good one.